Welcome back to Marvel Month by Month. Today we're diving into December 1962, a landmark month with 4 brand new Marvel stories. Fantastic Four number 9, Strange Tales number 103, Journey into Mystery number 87, and Tales to Astonish number 38. By the end of this episode, you'll see why Marvel's storytelling in 1962 kept pushing the boundaries of superhero comics, blending Hollywood satire, sci-fi dimensions, Cold War paranoia, and even some ridiculous but memorable villains. Fantastic Four number 9. The end of the Fantastic Four. We open with one of the most unusual Fantastic Four stories of the early days. The team is broke, bankrupt, completely wiped out. Creditors repossess Reed's inventions, and the Fantastic Four are forced to face the reality that being superheroes doesn't pay the bills. Ben, as always, feels this frustration the hardest. He storms off to see Alicia Masters, but even her kind words can't soothe his anger and insecurity. But then, salvation? A telegram from SM Studios in Hollywood offers the team a lifeline: star in a film about their lives, earn the money they need, and save the team. The only catch? The studio is secretly run by Namor the Submariner. Namor, still obsessed with Sue Storm, lures the Fantastic Four into dangerous situations under the guise of making an epic movie. Reed is tricked into fighting a real Cyclops in the Mediterranean. Johnny gets sent to Africa, where he's ambushed by a tribe immune to his flames. And Ben has to fight Namor himself on a California beach. For a moment, Namor nearly wins. He wants to kill the male members of the team and take Sue for himself. But Sue stands up to him, refuses his advances, and convinces both sides to back down. Namor keeps his word, finishes the movie, and the Fantastic Four finally get the money they need to carry on. This issue is fascinating, part superhero drama, part Hollywood satire, and another step in building Namor as Marvel's first real anti-hero. Strange Tales, number 103, Prisoner of the Fifth Dimension. Next up, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, gets his second solo adventure. This time, the Torch investigates why newly built houses are collapsing. Turns out it's not shoddy construction, but an invasion from the fifth dimension. Johnny is pulled into this strange world, ruled by the tyrant Zemu, who plots to conquer Earth by using his dimension's overlap points. Johnny is trapped in a watery prison to weaken his flame powers, but he's rescued by Valeria, the daughter of Phineas, the rightful ruler of the fifth dimension. With Valeria's help, Johnny sparks a rebellion and topples Zemu's dictatorship. But even when he returns to Earth, Johnny can't stop thinking about Valeria. It's an early glimpse of Marvel blending superheroes with romance and high-concept science fiction. And another story showing Johnny as the teenage hothead who keeps getting in over his head. Journey into Mystery number 87, Prisoner of the Reds. Thor dives straight into Cold War drama in this issue. 5 American scientists defect to the Soviet Union, and Donald Blake, in his Thor identity, decides to intervene. Blake poses as a scientist with a powerful new biological weapon, offering himself up as bait. Sure enough, he's kidnapped by a Soviet spy using a rigged camera that sprays knockout gas. Donald is flown behind the Iron Curtain and thrown into a cell with the other defected scientists. Of course, he transforms into Thor and smashes through trap after trap in a very pulp adventure style. But there's a twist. The Soviets threaten to destroy everyone with a self-destruct device unless Thor surrenders his hammer. He's shackled in unbreakable chains, and when the 60 seconds pass, he turns back into Donald Blake. But here's the clever part. As Blake, he's able to slip out of the chains, reclaim the hammer, and transform back into Thor. He frees the scientists, destroys the Soviet base, and returns to America, leaving Jane Foster once again swooning over Thor, while poor Donald Blake wonders if she'll ever love the man behind the god. This issue perfectly captures the Cold War paranoia of the early 60s, using Thor not just as a mythic hero, but as a patriotic figure in Marvel's lineup. Tales to Astonish number 38. The Return of Egghead. Finally, we get the unforgettable debut of Egghead. Yes, really. A disgraced atomic scientist, Egghead is hired by mobsters to take down Ant-Man. His genius plan? He studies ants and builds a device to control them, much like Ant-Man does. Then he sets up the ultimate trap, flypaper. That's right. Marvel's big new villain in 1962 tries to stop Ant-Man with sticky paper. Of course, Ant-Man escapes using his spring-loaded boots, defeats the gangsters, and even turns Egghead's trap against them by having his ants drop flypaper on the crooks from the ceiling. Egghead manages to escape, but his defeat sends him spiraling down into obscurity. For now. It's silly, it's campy, but it's also peak Silver Age Marvel. Even the strangest villains would eventually find their place in Marvel lore. And Egghead, believe it or not, sticks around for years. And that wraps up December 1962, a month that gave us bankrupt superheroes, interdimensional rebellions, Cold War espionage, and one egg-headed villain. Marvel was experimenting with all kinds of genres, and you can feel Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko testing the limits of what superhero comics could be. Next time, we'll head into 1963. And trust me, that's when things get really wild. If you enjoyed this dive into comic book history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment on which of these December issues is your favorite.